Welcome to our channel, where we explore the 10 best action stars of the 90s. These memorable actors became staples of the decade and were constantly quoted and just as recognizable as the films they starred in. Though the quality of some of their movies differs, there's no denying the impact these stars made to make the 90s some of the best years for the action genre. Before we get started, be sure to give that like button a little love and hit subscribe to stay in the loop for future exciting content. 1. Steven Seagal. Not many actors like Steven Seagal could pull off the flawless action hero archetype quite uniquely. Always playing the tough-as-nails cop or soldier, Seagal's films in the 90s were full of action-packed adventures. His characters usually acted as a one-man army taking on an insurmountable amount of bad guys. With his quick moves, cheesy one-liners, and signature ponytail, Seagal has garnered much of a cult following over the years for his entertaining, albeit ridiculous, action films. Though some of his work doesn't hold up too well today, films like Executive Decision and Under Siege proved to be the peak of his star power and turned major profits in theaters. 2. Jean-Claude Van Damme. Belgian-born martial artist Jean-Claude Van Damme has a laundry list of highly entertaining action films that showcase his impressive acrobatic and fighting skills. Usually playing fearless tough guys or competent fighters, his characters always win the day against criminals or evildoers without even breaking a sweat. After already making a name for himself with 1989's Kickboxer, his career in Hollywood truly blossomed in the early 90s with films like Universal Soldier and Hard Target. Though some of his movies have been hit or miss during this time, they're all still chessy but enjoyable flicks that wouldn't have been the same or remembered today without Van Damme's cool persona. 3. Tom Cruise. Fresh off the booming success of his 80s, hits like Top Gun and Rain Man, Tom Cruise dominated the 90s with his leading roles in some of the most defining films of the decade. However, the first installment of the Mission Impossible series turned him into an icon in a franchise that's still running strong today. The action spy genre has seen much success and popularity in recent years thanks to Cruz and his ability to bring cool and confidence to the role of IMF agent Ethan Hunt. Moviegoers in 1996 were treated to this exciting and iconic performance that helped secure Cruz's A-list stardom and popularity that continues to grow well into the modern film era. 4. Linda Hamilton. Terminator 2. Judgment Day saw Linda Hamilton in a career-defining performance as the strong and capable survivalist Sarah Connor. Her role and the character were instrumental in changing women's perceived roles in the genre and showed the potential for future female-led action films. Director James Cameron has proven that he could write compelling female protagonists in his stories like Aliens and Avatar. With Hamilton's help, the two created one of cinematic history's most iconic and toughest female characters. Hamilton would later reprise the role in 2019's Terminator, Dark Fate, without even skipping a beat, proving that she's still got it as a true action hero. 5. Jackie Chan. With his decades-long career as a talented fighter and stuntman, Jackie Chan has become a wildly popular and recognizable figure of the martial arts genre. With his fast-paced fighting skills and likable charm, he's responsible for some of the most entertaining and funniest action films the 90s had to offer. Though he made many great films in the 80s with Police Story and Armor of God, the 90s saw his popularity skyrocket with The Legend of Drunken Master and Rush Hour. The latter film saw Chan alongside comedy legend Chris Tucker in a successful franchise that boosted his status into international stardom. 6. Pierce Brosnan. After 1989's License to Kill, the highly popular James Bond series saw a long hiatus with no clear direction on where the franchise was heading next. Thankfully, the iconic British spy didn't stay dormant for long as he was given an action-packed revival with 1995's GoldenEye, which saw Pierce Brosnan smoothly transition into the role as 007. Brosnan would go on to appear in 4 more installments in the series, becoming one of the best actors to take on the role. His fast-paced and energetic performance as Bond was a fresh new take on the character that also made the character relevant and a decade full of impressive action films. 7. Will Smith. Will Smith was truly at the height of his powers in the 1990s. With a successful rapping career and a memorable role on NBC's The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, he proved he could take on leading man responsibilities and shine in big-budget Hollywood blockbusters. Independence Day and Men in Black would become the highest-grossing films of their respective years, proving that Smith was the right man to take on the role of a likable action star. Though his career would see ups and downs at the end of the decade and into the 2000s, he already cemented his status as one of the most profitable stars in the entertainment industry. 8. Nicolas Cage. Nicolas Cage perfectly embodied the spirit of the 90s action genre and all its fun and glory. With a string of massive hits and even a Best Actor Oscar, Cage's career became unstoppable this decade, proving his status as a bankable star and box office juggernaut. With his unique charm and penchant for going all out with his performances, audiences knew they were in for a highly entertaining thrill ride whenever Cage appeared on screen. Face Off, The Rock and Con Air showed Cage in his element, delivering one exciting and action-packed performance after another to make him one of the most recognizable stars in the action genre. 9. Keanu Reeves. Keanu Reeves made a name for himself with his early hits in the genre, such as his exciting leading roles in Point Break and Speed. However, the turn of the century took his career to new heights with his iconic role as the heroic Chosen One, Neo, in the Wachowskis, The Matrix trilogy. This role made Reeves a household name and led to many other leading man performances in the 2000s. Later, the 2010s would see a revival of his action stardom with 2014's John Wick, which only cemented his popularity even further. 10. Arnold Schwarzenegger. There's no denying the monumental impact of Arnold Schwarzenegger on the action genre and pop culture. With a career spanning decades, The Terminator was in his prime in the 90s, which saw his films becoming some of the highest-grossing films of the decade. Schwarzenegger had already secured his stardom with The Terminator, Conan the Barbarian, and Predator in the 1980s, but many could agree the 90s were the peak years of his box office dominance. Kindergarten Cop, True Lies, and especially Terminator 2. Judgment Day elevated his status, making him among the highest-paid actors and a sought-after celebrity star who couldn't fail to entertain. Please support and show appreciation by hitting Super Thanks. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more content. We appreciate you being part of our community. Until next time, take care and stay awesome.